Hi, I'm going to see if I can pass on a little bit of skills and knowledge for this number match game. As you can see on the screen here, I've got my high score of 420,000 plus. I've been searching on the internet and there were a lot of people who were frustrated on how it works and the instructions aren't all that clear. So I'm going to hopefully try and pass on some of the strategies that I've developed in my game playing that you might be able to make your scores a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and start. But if you look on the commercials, you'll see that on the top there might be a double arrow or an X or something like that. And if you click that, it will cancel the commercial and go back to the game. So we'll go ahead and start the game. Now, the first thing is you've got 3 rows. And that doesn't necessarily do you good because everything's tight and you're very limited and there's not a whole lot of choices. So instead of trying to clear the rows out first, I always try to do a first run. Now I'm all set. Now, as you can see, just by doing that, yes, it's more numbers, but now I get, for example, I've got a 9 and a 1 up or down. I have a 7 and a 7 up and downs. I've got a lot of numbers that I can get rid of because I basically created a parallel of numbers from the parts above it. So that's going to give you your easier sets. Now, the way that the game clearing works is based off of up, down, left, right, diagonal, or from reading left to right, going one row to another. And I'll try and get those in this game as well. So first, the easy ones. So as you can see here, I got a 7. Go ahead and pair that up with a 7, get rid of it. Now, you can quickly go ahead and get rid of a couple pairs, but just by doing them, because they're easy, might not necessarily be the best avenue because you may need those numbers to clear out a diagonal that is blocking in another number for you. So, for example, I could go left here with the 6 and 6, but I can also go diagonal and clear that out. And I can do that as long as there is no other number that is obstructing the path. And again, whether it's up and down, left and right, or on the diagonal. So let's see here if I can get rid of some more samples. Sure, I didn't get a great sample to run with here, but we'll see if we can still make it work. Now, I can do a 9 here with a 1 to the right, or I can do a 9, 1 on the diagonal, and that would give me the 3s to be cleared. So going with your easiest might not be the best. So it's for planning. Now, here's one that's a good example of going left to right. In this case, if I'm reading left to right, I would read from the top 5, 6, 1, to the next row 5, to the next row 4, 5, to the next row another 5. So in this case, I have my 5 and 5s back to back. If I were reading it like a book, that counts as a pair of 10 for alignment. So instead of killing the 5 and 5 or on the left up and down, I can actually go from the row 3 to the row 4 and hit that 5 and clear that out. Now, that might not be the best thing to do based off of your available numbers. Now, here's another part of the plan. In order for me to try and clear out numbers between the 5s that I just screwed up, if I look at this 6, I can get this one over here, but I also want to get rid of this 4 up here. So to do that, as you're clearing rows out, all remaining numbers that are below the cleared row will shift up, sort of like a Tetris move in reverse going upwards. So if I were to get rid of this one here and match it, you'll see the bottom 2 rows shift up. Now, by doing that, that's given me the opportunity to hit this 6 here and its diagonal here. Just an example, clear that out, and at least my numbers are getting moved up to the top. Sometimes I don't go as far up to the top because I need a blend. But at this point, I can go ahead and do a re-deal of numbers, and what it'll do is it'll just cycle through the numbers that are already there and add them to where the last number was that was available on the set. In this case, it's a 1 in the bottom right, and I'm back to the game. So now I've got more of my numbers back in better alignment. I can do the 7-3 cleared here. I can do the 6-4 here to get these cleared. But I'm still stuck with these 2s that are over here and they're blocked. I don't have another 2 in the clearing over here. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the 7-3. Now I've got my diagonal. But now I've got this 2 versus this 2 that are really far apart. How am I going to get rid of them? Well, I can get rid of the left and right with the 6 that continues. It's not in a diagonal, but there is nothing blocking it between here and the next row. So that would clear out some 5s, 6s, 1s. So now I got a little bit of a dilemma here. I could get rid of my 6s, my 6-4 or 6-4, or 6-4 this way. So the diagonal 6s, the diagonal 6-4, or the straight left and right 4-6. Because I'm running low on numbers and I still can't get my stuff cleared, I want to try and get rid of extra numbers so I don't have them repeated and screw up. So I'm going to get rid of this 6-4 on this side. I'm done with that. I'm going to go ahead and do one more deal. Now in this case, things are starting to look. I can clear up the 5s on the left-hand side if I wanted to. I could clear out the 2s here, but that doesn't help me with this 7, or does it? Well, if I clear out the 5s on the left, and then I clear out the 2s on the left, the 7 would line up right with the 3 here. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. 7 with the 3. Now, I have this 5 in alignment here, and that's good because I can get rid of everything on this side to help me. But I'm still stuck when it comes time to getting to this 2. So let's see what happens here. First, I'm going to get rid of the numbers that line up diagonally. Then we'll get rid of the 1s. So now we have a lot less numbers to deal with. Now, this is going to be real important. I can get rid of either the pair of 6s here on the diagonal, or I can get the pair of 6s that are on this row and down. The reason that I want to try and get rid of the 6 here and down is it might bring me up to get the 2 on the diagonal, but not enough. But we're clearer, do another deal. Now I'm getting only those numbers in it, but that's not enough because the 2s are really skewed out. So because going top to right or left to right, top to bottom, the first number that's available is a 2. So even though I don't have to deal right now, that I might be able to play something, I would go ahead and deal the last one. And now look, it puts a 2 right there in line for me. So now I can start getting rid of the 2s as I travel through. So I'll get rid of these. I'll get rid of that. So I will get rid of this 2 diagonal with the top corner. That allows me to get rid of the 7-3 here to clear the 6. Get rid of these 2. Yeah, this game's done too. Yep, game's done. But anyhow, trying to describe the game as I'm going through as opposed to thinking is a little bit more difficult. Hopefully that I've given you enough input on how some strategies can be played on your game to get your scores even higher. Happy gaming!